Hey, what's going on, one and all? Aloha. Hope all is going well out there in the world. Adepts and initiates, Kyolamau Tengan here on this beautiful Thursday, day 12 of Materializing Wealth. Let me just turn off that sound there. I am delighted to be here today. I had a tour that was originally scheduled and then it got rescheduled. So I am hanging out here in my holiday and sitting with, especially today, the concepts around this in terms of materializing my wealth. And that wealth, again, being in definition to the bountiful expression of universal love. And so really started my day since I had a little bit more spaciousness to go through my morning flows. I acknowledge not getting that up yesterday. I had posted it. For some reason, it didn't go through. And so I'm going to rework that today and get that up and online. But basically going through this whole concept of daily rituals and flows to reaffirm a certain aspect of ourselves and to allow that information effectively to imprint upon ourselves. And so I figured that this is a good day to kind of take a pause. Day 12 is significant just in the concepts of, numerological and mathematical energies. Now, that's a whole topic in and of itself, which I'm not going to dive into today. What I do want to talk about, though, is the law of authentic exchange. And now, so this goes into an area that really starts to get more relevant into sort of the day-to-day, yet also directly ties into the concepts that we were talking about in the previous days about this concept of coherence, right? When we get into this balanced and harmonious state, it opens up to a certain degree this capacity to align with our, some would say, higher self, with the greater intelligence at large, with source. And as that happens, this enables the passage of a high degree of authenticity. Now, when we talk about this concept of authenticity, it is what is the true value that I am? Not that I have, not that I can offer. What is the true value of who I am? And in this case, how then can that be presented in some sort of exchange? Now, when we talk about exchange, for example, we can also talk about ideas around compensation, right? And so this concept of compensation, what is the true value that I provide? And at what scale is that available? Ultimately can tie into this whole concept of salary or payment, or more broadly, this concept of exchange. And so as we look at this concept of authentic exchange, one part of that is in terms of authenticity, not just the knowledge that I have, not just the wisdom that I've been able to create, not just even the skill set that I have. This goes around really the idea of what I label as our genius. Now, the genius is the cross-section of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves. And with that is as a natural outlet or output, is the true purpose or value, service that I have to provide to the world. And so this area of our genius, or in this case, law of authentic exchange, allows that area of true value to also be valued, if you will. And that exchange, we want to ensure that it's a fair exchange, that there is a passage between two parties, and more than just a matter of it being a transaction. If we're talking about relationship, transactional relationships would be exactly that. It'll be a strict exchange of this and that. What we really want to look at is connection. How can authenticity create value and be in that place of true connection? And so that in and of itself allows an exchange of energy. If energy is a matter of attention, that could just be being present with a friend who really needs you, who really desires to be heard. That can be playing with our children, right? Being very present tense off of our phones and devices and really just here now. And in the concepts of an actual business which ultimately this whole concept of wealth is really based around, is how do we take that aspect of our calling and take it into a career? Well, then, that in and of itself begs the question in terms of what the value, or to a certain degree, what the cost would be for that value. And so as we go through all these aspects in terms of authentic exchange, one of the things that I'm going to be sitting with today, for example, is what is it that I truly provide, right? What is the true value of my being? And not value in terms of a material cost, as much as it is, who is it that I truly am, and what is it that I have to offer? What does me, in myself as an expression of source, have to offer as a service? And how is it that I can then attach a value to it, if you will? And so that'll be my day's activity today, is going to be doing a little bit of journaling. I already started, and it's looking at what is the true value of who I am and how can that be presented as a service. One of the things about this is that as we really begin to flush things out, it can and often leads into some very interesting questions. And this week, as well as last week, is this whole period of the tower for me, which means that those aspects of self-identity are being challenged big time. And that's a good thing, because how I see myself, how others view me, and how I am truly showing up in this alignment of my genius are not always congruent. There can be a little dissonance, if you will, or a little misalignment. And so this period is just getting all that together and really identifying what that looks like for myself in terms of this concept of the law of authentic exchange. Well, I will update you later this evening or early tomorrow as all those flows unfold. For now, though, love and aloha. Take care, and I'll